Now what I like to do, I recommend that you just quickly shuffle the cards, because the way the cards land, the reds and blacks are actually going to be quite grouped together. So just to alleviate any suspicion later in the trick, when the spectator looks at their cards, I want to make sure that the cards are well randomized looking. So just give the cards a quick shuffle, and it just seems like you're being very thorough mixing the cards anyways to the spectator. Okay, then what you do is you're going to ask the spectator to choose to pick up any pile. You're going to actually specifically say to pick up any pile. Now what you're really going to do is you're going to force them to either pick this pile, which has, believe it or not, the black forced card, the 5 of spades, in it, and this pile has the red 5 of hearts in it. So we're going to get them to choose one of these piles. Now in order to do that, we just ask them to pick up a pile. Now if they pick up this pile, we simply ask them to shuffle this pile with any of the remaining 2 piles. So if they pick this one, you shuffle them together and then you pick up the remaining pile, and the rest of the trick continues with that. So you force that one. Now if they choose to rifle shuffle these cards, then this pile is used in the trick. Now if they pick up one of the end cards first, well then you just move along with the trick using whatever end card they choose. So that's very simple. Now let's just say the spectator picks up this pile. Okay, we continue the trick with this pile because our red forced card is in this pile. Just remember that the black card at the bottom of the deck at the beginning, set up that way, will always end up in the first pile you deal off. And the last pile that you deal off will be the red card from the top of the deck, will be in this pile. So I know that the 5 of hearts will be the one that they'll end up with in this pile. So what we do then is we let the spectator hold on to this pile. We just quickly shuffle these cards and move them aside, and we ask the spectator, before they even look at the cards, to just select the minority color or the majority color of red or black. So let's say they select, what we're going to do is we're going to force them to actually choose the minority color, and we do that by, no matter what they say, as like for instance, if they choose the minority color, then we continue by saying, okay, now focus on the minority color cards, and the minority color cards will be the red cards that they'll look at. If they select the majority colored cards, we simply say, okay, discard those cards and focus on the minority colored cards. So again, that brings them again to looking at the red cards. So it just seems like they've had free choice, and really they haven't. So anyways, so they open up the deck. Let's say they've chosen the minority. So they open up the deck and they look through, and you tell them, okay, now focus on the minority cards. So they look at the minority colored cards, and we see that the minority color is obviously the red cards. Then they're asked to choose, now that they've chosen the minority card selection, you're going to keep going with the minority decision and have them choose the minority suit amongst the group of red cards. So they look to see what the minority suit between the hearts and diamonds, and obviously the minority suit is the heart right here. Now you notice that it's the only card that they'll have to choose from, so they have no choice but to choose the forced card. It just seems that because the next question you're going to ask them is, after they've chosen the minority suit, you're going to ask them to choose between that group of minority cards that they have left, to make it seem like they could have potentially have been looking at a number of cards, when in reality they just think that just by some coincidence they've only had one card left. But that's how it's supposed to be, because that's what we want, of course, to force the card. So they select their minority suit, and that being the 5 of hearts, of course, we know what it's going to be. And we tell them, without showing the cards, of course, we want to really be clear that the magician does not look at the cards at all through the entire trick, and never looks at the cards. We ask the spectator to immediately, after they've remembered their card, to close the cards up and to shuffle them into the rest of the pile. And then the trick is done. You can just play it up however you want. You can you know, be really dramatic with how you're going to decipher what card they're thinking of, and you know, you can say that maybe, okay, you're picking up that it's a red card and the suit you're getting is a heart, and then you say the 5 of hearts, and they should be quite stunned. So anyways, I hope that made a lot of sense. I hope I got this in this 10-minute video. Anyways, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.